Thì đâu thì kìa.
Ừ. Và
Còn bè xíu mà em lấy cái đồ điện thoại này vô thùng rác, ống hết tay vô mình luôn.
All right, so very good day, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. It's been a 2 weeks of break, so I think we can still be starting in another 2 weeks time, right?
yes,
So
yes.
okay, all right. So that's something different compared to the past. Today we're going to look into some of the topics that we have gone through earlier last year, because I have some feedback to say that I have some feedback that mentioning that they some students do very well on the previous chapter, so they actually asked me to back in time and start on every single tip, basic recap, so that at least they can catch up, etc. So with that, right, I have come up with a series of recap to let everyone know what are the main points of the previous topics, so that we are on the same page. So let us proceed. So without further ado, let me just start the lesson proper. Today we're going to look at this particular theme called diversity. Diversity is basically a theme whereby they teach you how to define things, how to see what is living things and what is non-living things, what are the materials involved, and why do we put them in one group. So that's what you can see that this picture is about animals uh, in the background. So I'm gonna split the lesson in its parts. First, we have 5 minutes to recap what the topic is about. Second, we have 10 minutes of in-depth learning, followed by 10 minutes of breakdown discussion, then 10 minutes of presentation. So every group present their findings, 10 minutes worksheet, and 15 minutes of quiz. So without further ado, let us proceed on with the 5 minutes of recap session. So what have we learned in the past? We learned that all living things, including us, need air, water, and food to survive. Living things will die without air and water, but they can survive for a short period of time without food. So if any of these particular criteria was not met, living things will die. However, non-living things do not need this tree. So this is one of the very important difference between the living things and the non-living things. We also learned in the past on this topic that all living things can grow. as they grow, right, they change their shape, size, and appearance. For example, a young baby plant, when they come out of the soil, there's only a few leaves. After some time, they grow up, have many branches and many leaves. This is an example of how plants grow. Next up, the next example is a frog. When the frog is a baby, the shape and size is different from the adult frog. The baby frog, known as tadpole, is just a little cute circle round face with a tail behind it that allows it to swim. As time goes by, as the tadpole grow old, it slowly form leg and hand. Slowly, the tails become smaller and smaller, and it grows into a adult frog, as you can see in the picture here. So all these two examples gives you an example of how living things change their shape, size, and appearance. Reflecting on ourselves, look at our baby photo. When we are a baby, we are almost the same. We have no hair, or a little bit of hair. We are very small and tiny mini. But as time goes by, we grow older and older, we grow bigger and bigger, our shape and size increase, right? So this is how the living things actually grow and change their shape, size, and appearance. We also learned before the comparison between the living things and the non-living things. The living things actually respond to changes in their surrounding. For example, if you were to have a firecrackers beside a dog, as the firecracker give a pity pala sound, the dog will be scared and run away. This is an example of how a dog responds to changes in their surrounding. However, if you put a firecracker beside a stone being a stone, a non-living things, it does not respond to changes in their surrounding. Therefore, no matter how many firecrackers you explode, no matter how many sound of pili pala that's being made, stone will always be there because it is a non-living things. All right. We also look at the comparison between living things and non-living things. The growth, as mentioned earlier in the previous slide and previous topic, growth, all living things will grow old, will grow big, will grow their shape and change their shape and sizes and appearance. However, non-living things, even if 100 years pass, the stone will still be a stone like that small. It won't grow big, become a bigger stone or what, right? The third comparison between the living things and the non-living things is living things can reproduce. The all living things have the ability to have babies, depending on whether they want or don't want. All right. However, non-living things unable to have babies. You don't see the adult stone or baby stone, right? They are all made by nature or made by man. So therefore, living things can reproduce. All living things cannot produce, right? Lastly, the most important difference, living things need air, water, and food to stay alive. However, non-living things like stone do not need air, water, and food. No matter how you give a bowl of rice or a bowl of macaroni to a stone, the stone will not eat it because it is a non-living thing. However, if you give a macaroni to a baby, to a toddler, he or she will finish it very fast. This is how the differentiate between the living things and non-living things. So, what are some of the criteria for to identify whether it's a living thing or a non-living thing? We look at the following four different things. Living things, as mentioned earlier, we can grow, we can develop. Non-living things are immortal, therefore they are there eternal. They will not pass away. They will be there forever unless something happened to them by nature or by man. Living things, except for plants and trees, can move independently from one place to another. However, plants only can tilt their stem towards the sunlight. So therefore, the main criteria is living things can reproduce and grow their family, while non-living things cannot. So with that, we have covered. We used the 5 minutes to cover the recap session. Now let's look at the in-depth detail of every topic. All right. The recap part is for you to have a summary of what the chapter is all about. But in that portion is about how you understand individual pointers in details. So let's start. So as mentioned earlier, diversity, this particular theme, living things and non-living things materials, is all about classification. In terms of science, classification is the grouping of things according to their characteristic. A characteristic of a thing refers to the unique feature of the thing. Scientists group them together so to better understand what are they, where they come from, how do they live. So every single grouping right have its own unique characteristic. All right. For example, look at plants. Plants, they have leaves. They have leaves to make food. So as long as you can make food using by yourself, and you have your chlorophyll inside, you are a plant, right? For insect, the main unique feature of insect is they have 6 legs. So scientists will group all the living things that have 6 legs under this group called insect. For birds, scientists will group all living things that have beak and wing to be in this group called birds, and so on and so forth. So classification is the most important for this topic on living things and non-living things. It allows you to understand how they live, how they work, how they interact. So what are the ways that scientists or people who study science use to classify things? They have this following step. So step 1, make an observation. So imagine yourself now on a table, there's a lot of pictures of animals. So you look at all the animals on the table, you make an observation, you list down what are the similarity and difference among the animal picture on the table. From there, step 2, you find is there any similar characteristic? If there is, you take the animal picture and group them one side. After you group them all together already, step 3, you give a name to the group. And with that, these are the 3, you have completed the 3 simple steps on how you classify things. Right? Up. So some examples of classification can be done using flowchart and table as shown in next slide. For example, like this. I want to know living things. In my criteria, I want to know which living things makes its own food, which living things move around to look for food. With that, I look at a picture and I realize that there are some pictures actually is on land, some pictures is on water. So with that, I give a grouping W, X, Y, and Z as animal. So the group title will be live on land, live on water, live on land, water. But they are different between both of them. One is to make its own food. One is to move around to look for food. All right. Yes, somebody actually raised their hand.
So can you please increase your volume? I can't hear pretty well.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Sure. Okay. So let me adjust my headphones. Is that okay? So with that, right, we will have to look at what animal suits this criteria W, X, Y, and Z. So this is the first example of how you classify living things. Next up, you can also use a flow chart like this to classify living things. For instance, you have a group of living things here. Very messy, you don't know how to classify them. So you go do a flow chart, depending on a teacher, Example, the teacher asking you to find is do the things have flowers? So you put a flow chart, living things, does it have flower? Yes. So you put all the living things that have flower under this W. If there's no flower, the next thing, does it fit all other living things? If no, you put all the living things that has no flower and no other living things as Z. Next, if yes, is it a microscope? Do you need a microscope to see clearly? If the answer is no flower, see on other living things, no microscope. Put Y, yes, you put X. All right. Now look at the table on how you classify observations. So we have group X, W, X, Y, and Z. So the observation you see, example, you have many pictures living things on a table. So you found that actually I can group them in based on my observation. Some of them have scales. So if I have scales, I'll just pick accordingly. W have scales, Y have scales. 6 leg, I put an X. Breathe through gills, I put Y. Breathe through skin, I put Z. So in this case, for example, if other students were to come and see your observation, they can look at the picture here. Oh, so group Y have scales and breathe through gills. So group Y is a fish. Oh, group X has 6 legs. So it is an insect. Oh, group Z breathe through its skin. Well, in one of the grouping that breathe its skin is amphibians. Then it has scales, W. Oh, reptiles. This is how we group and classify things accordingly. All right. So next up, we also group them to can fly, cannot fly, so on and so on. For example, animals that are young with milk can fly, cannot fly is one. If do not provide milk, can fly, cannot fly is one. This is how you classify things in this topic on diversity. Now, let's look at some of the experiment next slide. Show that living things need air, food, and water to survive. For this topic in examination, teacher always like to give you some experiment and make you confused. One example is like this. So in the experiment below, both setup have a snail each and contain the same amount of animals, the same amount of food and water. However, the cover of the bottle in setup A does not have holes, while the cover of the bottle in setup B has holes. What will happen in both setup after 2 days? Any volunteer want to try? Yes, Lily. All right. So yes, what is the answer for this?
Snail in the setup A will die because it has no air.
Very good. So let's carry on then. Okay, so in this case, the correct answer is the snails in setup A will not survive after some time, while the snail in setup B will survive. The reason because the hole in the bottle of setup B, all right, allows air to enter while there are no hole in setup A for air to enter. Thus, the snail in setup B has enough air to survive, while the snail in setup A will use up the limited air in the bottle and die eventually due to lack of air. All right, let's carry on. Now, next. The experiment below show both setup have a snail each and contain the same amount of water. However, there is food left in setup K, while there is no food left in setup L. So, what is the answer for this? Any volunteers want to take up? Yes, Kai, you're the first to raise your hand. Yes, yep, Kai. Response? Okay, then I'll ask another person. Yes, Tom.
The snail would likely to survive in step K, but he would not in L because there is no food, so he only just drink up some water.
All right, you're very right. Okay, so to answer this question, you same thing. You have to put the snail in setup A will survive, while the snail inside of L will not survive. And the reason is because there is food inside of K, but however, there's no food inside of L. So therefore, setup K snail can survive, while setup L snails will not survive due to absence of food. Okay, so let's carry on with the other thing. Next up, we look at the just do a hand first. Next up, we look at the reproduction of living things. All right. So as mentioned earlier, all living things have the ability to reproduce and maybe living things need to reproduce to ensure their own kind won't go extinct. If they don't reproduce, they will extinct. Living things, however, reproduce in different ways. All right. Some are you lay eggs, some keep it alive. So let's see some example in next slide. As you can see on this table here, we have the animal kingdom, the mammals, bird, fish, reptile, amphibian, insects. Mammals give not all mammals give birth alive, but majority of mammals give birth alive. Example is lion and rabbit. Birds lay eggs. Example, eagle and chicken. Fish lay eggs. Example, goldfish, clownfish. Reptiles lay eggs. Example, like snake, crocodile. Amphibians lay eggs. Example, frog. Insect lay eggs like ant, mosquito. But the plants, okay, there's some problem here, some mistake here. Flowering plants, they don't reproduce by spores, okay? So flowering plants actually they grow fruits and they use seeds to reproduce like apple tree, papaya tree. Non-flowering plants, however, use spores, like example the bird nest birds. Fungi use spores to reproduce like mushroom and toadstools. So this tables is very important because examination they will test you. It's confirmed come out. That will show you why. Next up, after you look at the in-depth of reproduction of living things, let's look at the in-depth details of reproduction of growth in living things. So all living things, as I mentioned earlier, they will grow and develop in terms of size and appearance over time. When they develop into adults, they are able to reproduce. So these are the table that that basically discuss what we have just gone through. It's the same as the recap table. So living things need air, food, and water to survive. Need to reproduce to ensure their own kind. All right, one cannot grow for long living things, or reproduce for long living things, respond to changes, and does not respond to changes around them for non-living things. All right, let me give you a question now. All right, any takers, any students on for these questions? Living things, we see a flow chart here, living things able to make its own food, reproduced by seeds, apple, not able to make its own food, reproduced by laying eggs, reproduced by giving birth. So like shark, so what is X and Y? Any takers? Yes, no, yep. Yep, so any takers?
I think Y is a dolphin and X is growth.
Yes, yes. So yes, you're right. So why is dolphin? Because dolphin reproduce by giving birth alive. Then we have the spores. Fungi reproduce by spore. Therefore, this question is number 4. Thank you very much, Tom. So now we have some stories related to living things. All right, let's go through the stories together. So we have this person called Zoro. He want to visit the Earth. So he saw the Earth and he said, "Wow, so that's the Earth. Computer teleport me to Earth." So meanwhile on Earth, we have this particular robot and this human being here. So meanwhile, Spencer, don't forget to do your homework. Then this guy is like saying, yeah, look, I'm in the middle of a game. Sudden, oh, sudden, zap, this particular person comes to Earth. And when he come to Earth, he fell down and he hurt himself with a little bruises here. Ouch. Because this little boy is scared. He thought it's some monster. So he said, who are you and what are you doing here? Then he explained, my name is Zolo and I'm writing a book about living things on Earth. I'm looking for a guide who can help me with my research. Perfect. Spencer is a young budding scientist. He can help you. Yay, no more homework for today. Let's go. So at a park, living things are alive and they need air, food, and water to survive. It's all very simple. That squirrel is a living thing. This pigeon need air, food, and water too. Here, little one, I have some food for you. And all the birds look at him and snatch the food. Too many living things. Just drop the food. So after you drop the food, the bird runs towards the food and he survives. And next, living things also respond to the environment and move around on their own. Oh, I see that living things moving on its own. It must be a living thing. Here, some food. So this is the guy saw this swing moving, so he thought that as long as you move, you are living things. However, this is wrong. Alright, so listen up. All living things they are alive. They need energy to survive, like how we humans need to eat food. Besides that, all living things also need air and water to stay alive. And don't forget, living things can respond to the environment, like how we shiver when we are cold. Animals can move around on their own, but most plants can't. But there are some plants like the Venus flytrap or the mimosa can actually move in response to certain things in the environment. So this means that Luke is a living thing since it needs energy and can run, right? No, Luke is a robot. Robot are machines, so they are non-living things, right? So based on this story, right, we know that actually living things need air, food, and water to survive. Living things can move, but not all living things, not all things that move are living things. For example, this swing. Swing can move, but swing is not a living thing. All right. This is a short little story on how you can explain these living things to 4 years old students, right? So some good to know. What is the tiniest living things? The tiniest living things are called like bacteria, like a single cell organism. They are so small, so we need a microscope to see them. All right. So even though they are small, single cell, but they are still living things because they can move, eat, grow, and reproduce. All right. Let's carry on. So now I'm going to break you up into a small breakout room. All right. In the room, I give you 10 minutes to discuss these three living things. So discuss as a group the characteristic of each living thing based on the appearance, their habitat and diet, and some interesting facts or unique features. Okay. So I'm gonna break you up into a group. All right. So let me break it now. We have people here. We have around 80 people. So I'll break you up into four groups. So you will discuss everything and you let me know your answer after 10 minutes. Okay. So let me just open all rooms now. So I will close the room in 10 seconds. Auto close the room in 10 minutes. Okay. So the time starts now, please, and please discuss. All right. So discuss as a group the characteristic of living things, appearance, habitat, diet, and some interesting facts or unique features. I'm going around to see all of you. Okay. Okay. Enter the breakout room now. Right. Please enter the breakout room. Okay, let me go to different group now and see.
Mr. Andrew.
Yep, yes, yep.
I think when you put the kids in the breakout rooms and then it can be broadcasted on YouTube.
No, when you yeah, so when I put up room, right? So yeah, individual room, right? It's not broadcast, only the main room here broadcast.
Okay.
Yep. So you can go around the different room to join them and see what they discuss. I just went in a different room and see them and they are discussing. Yep. So waiting for them to reply. I will still 6 minutes more. By the way, thanks Alina for doing the quiz. Yes, I appreciate a lot. I think I will pause the recording. I'll pause the recording first because now it's pick up from time. Connie and Kai done your discussion. So I see room 2 they are discussing now. Room 3 also. Room 4 also. Room 1, are you done room 1? That room 1 is done. Yeah, I'll assign Alina to you want to join them? Alina, you want to join them to discuss? We have 4 more minutes. All right, group. All right, groups. We have 4 more minutes to discuss. Later, every one of you will come to the main room and share your findings. All right, you have final 2 minutes left. Final 2 minutes to discuss. Final 1 minute. Please wrap up. The final 1 minute. Please conclude everything. Right. Welcome back. Right. Welcome back to the main group. All right. So now, right, let me get volunteers to share with us what's the finding. Can I have the volunteer from room 2? Anyone from room 2 want to share first? Emma, you want to share for room 2 first?
Okay, so I will talk about the stuff that my group has my group has talked about penguins.
Right.
So penguins live in cold places, and the females lays to 1 to 2 eggs. Female lays eggs, then transfer the eggs to the males, and penguins neither mammals nor amphibians. That's what my team discussed.
Then, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Emma. So, Emma said was right. The team was right. So, penguin lay eggs. All right. Okay. Next up, can I have another group? Now, maybe a group 3. Lily, Nathan, Stancy, and Tom want to share the team. Tom, you want to share?
Actually, my team has discussed about penguins just like Emma's team, but actually, these penguins have a very different stuff, have common things, but there are two other penguins that are different from the from normal penguins. There are no. I when I did my research, I see that the smallest penguin in the world is the blue penguin, which is only about some centimeters tall. And there's another penguin called the Empire penguin. They're like almost 2 feet tall, and they are like the tallest of the members of the penguin. When every time the female borns an egg has born the egg, they they transport to the male, and the male had to keep it warm until it hatches. The the penguins are described as carnivore carnivore animals. They eat fish, and they have a thick fur to keep them warm in the Arctic and cold climates.
Thank you very much, Tom. All right. So, let's get other group now. The next group we have Vi, Henry, Phoenix, Ruby, and Tony. So, Tony, want to share your team, what your team have discussed about either elephant, butterfly, or penguin? Yes, Tony. Maybe you can have Henry or Phoenix or Ruby. Anyone of you want to share? Ruby. Want to share? You want to share? You want to share? Yes.
Okay. Our group choose butterfly. Choose butterflies. Our group choose butterflies.
Okay. What about butterfly? You guys explain.
Butter butterflies. Butterfly has 4 wings, and they're a insect that they're insect with I forgot what like the long thing called.
Feelers,
Uh,
the feelers, the feelers,
I don't know what to call
the,
that.
the two string that come out of the head, right?
I can't hear you good enough.
Are you referring to the two string that from the head?
I forgot like the thing that like they use. What is that?
The antenna, right? That right?
Antennas. Yeah, the antennas.
All right, the feelers. Okay, carry on.
They have antennas,
Okay, feelers. Okay.
and there's a few species of like some other butterflies have like different patterns on them. Different patterns on their wings.
Right. Yes, you're right. What else?
Wings. And groups of butterflies are sometimes called fluter. I got this writing.
Understand.
Fluters.
Understand.
Fluters.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's them.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Henry.
Mm.
All right. So let me go to one last group now. We have Anne, Hi, and Yet Kyung, is it? Anyone want to share? Anne, you want to share? Anne? Hi. If not, I will carry on already. Okay, let's carry on then. Okay, so through this activity, right, we actually learn about what are the characteristics of different animals like the penguin and the butterfly, and how they survive, and what are some of the ways they reproduce. This is one of the discussion that we need to do so that we know what animals we are referring to. With that, let us carry on with the next segment called the worksheet. So let me just open up the worksheet now. All right, let's carry on now. So let's do this thing together. All right. Let's do it together. All right. So let us start with the first. So we have gone through the topic on living and non-living things. We've gone through the discussion on how we classify things. Now let's look at the question in proper. All right. Question 1. Raja found an animal in a pond. He observed how the animal changed over a few days. So he like this become like this. Okay. So from his observation, Raja can conclude that the animal is a living thing because it can. Any volunteers? Yes, Nathan.
From his observation, Raja can conclude that the animal is a living thing because it can grow.
Very good. It can grow. Well done. Thank you, Nathan. All right, let's start. So question number 2. Diagram below shows the plant. Right? Which part 1, 2, 3, or 4 is the roots of the plant? Any volunteers? All right, Lily.
It's 4 that it's the roots of the plant.
Very good. Yes, you're right. 4, this is a root of plant. This is the stem. This is the leaf. This is the flower. Well done. Excellent. Thank you, Lily. Question number 3. It's a very big one. The table below gives some information on plant X. These are the two characteristics. A tick shows that the plant has the characteristic. So plant X, a tick on produce flowers, however, no tick on grow on land. So based on the information given, where does plant X belong to in the classification diagram? So you can see the plant is here, flowering, not flowering, growing water, growing water, growing water, not growing water. A, B, C, D. So which one is the answer? Yes, An. Is that yeah? An or An? I don't, yes, answer for this question.
Yeah, so you didn't let the people turn on their microphones. So I think plant X is in category A.
Plant X is in category A. Why do you think so?
Well, it says that it produces flowers, but it doesn't grow on land. So basically, it's flowering and it does not grow. Wait. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. So it actually grows in water. I read it wrong, so it's actually category B.
All right, the answer is B. Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, he's right. The plant X produce flowers. However, plant X does not grow on land, so it grow in water. This is a trick question that teacher like to use. All right, so this one is wrong because it grow in water. All right, so therefore answer is B. Let's carry on. The table below shows how some animals can be grouped. So has wings, no wings, has hair, no hair. The diagram below show a mammal. So in which group of animals does this mammals belongs to? Any volunteers here? Yes, Tony. Uh, yes, Tony. You have to, yes, yes.
My answer it's L, number 2.
Why L?
Wow.
All right, the characteristic of mammals is all mammals actually have hair, right? So if all mammals have hair, so this is called and have wings, right? So
And
answer
it have wings, yes.
so answer is K. All right, so that answer number 1. Because mammals have hair, so it's here, has wings. So therefore, to fulfill these two criteria, K is the one that fulfills these two criteria. The answer is K. And let's carry on. 4 students actually make the following observations for animals. So it lay eggs, has scales, can swim in water, it has 4 legs. So based on the observation, the animal is classified as an what? Any volunteers? Yes, Nathan?
Based on the observation, this animal can be classified as a reptile.
Very good. You are right. Absolutely right. So a reptile actually have dry scales, lay eggs, swim in water, and 4 legs. Okay, with that we completed the worksheet portion. We have the last 10 minutes for the quiz. Booklet. So special thanks to Alina for doing the quiz. So now let's look at which game you want to play. I actually allow you all to unmute yourself. So let me know what game you want
The
to play.
dino game, the dino game.
No,
Deceptive Dino.
no. Crypto hack.
Crypto has been
Yeah.
boring. Deceptive Dinos.
Deceptive Dinos.
Guys, in these
I want the dinos. I haven't tried it yet.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dinos are
let's
dinos are
all
Dino.
okay, let's all play Dino then. Okay. So I have 10 minutes, right? And yeah, 10 minutes.
Let's get this done.
All right, let's start. So let's start.
Can you send it in the chat, the link?
Yeah. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm saying now. A moment. Let me just try to copy.
Joe, can you send it in the
Yes,
chat?
yes. Sharing that.
He copied it
Yeah, I'm copying now. Wait first. Hold on.
in the chat.
Yes. Can all see the chat? Oh, good.
Okay, let's get these diners out of here.
Let's get a dino started. All right, so let you all sometimes to join in first. Okay, so the class we have around 17 students, minus of the co-host and the host, which should be around 10 participants. Okay, I will start now. Enjoy your game. We'll be ending the game in 1 minute time. We'll be ending the game in 1 minute time. All right. Congratulations to Subri, Nathan, and Sweat God. All right. So with that, we have ended today's lesson. So I will see you all next week, same timing. All the best to you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yes. Yeah, I can. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to Alina for helping
Bye
me.
bye.